Hey, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to Brandon Smooth TV. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. I think my last video was Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Now I'm back at you with a review for The Mandalorian on Disney Plus seasons 1 and 2. If you haven't seen them yet, spoiler alert, because it's going to be super spoiler heavy. So, before I even go into The Mandalorian, as you know, I am a huge Star Wars fan. I have been since I've been about 6 years old, even to the point where I named my twins Luke and Leia, my oldest two children. So, the thing about Star Wars, of course, I wasn't old enough, to really remember. I wasn't alive when the original three came out. A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And then when the prequels were coming out, I was very young. Of course, seeing The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. So with Star Wars, a big thing for me before they kind of consolidated it was the expanded universe. And I've read a couple of the novels, and I really like the stories that took place after Return of the Jedi. Now, the difference is once George Lucas sold his rights to Disney, for me, a lot of things change. And I'm pretty sure even fans, who really love the stories and love the mythos, felt like once Disney got a hold of it, things did change drastically. So, as far as The Mandalorian is concerned, that took place about 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And my biggest gripe with the sequels that's come out, the newer movies, is it really didn't take care of the legacy characters, in particular Luke Skywalker and Han Solo also. I feel like they didn't really give them justice and show their progression of where they would have been, also while staying true to the character, if that makes any sense. So, with The Force Awakens, that was cool. You can go back and watch my review of that. I didn't really have too many issues with The Force Awakens, but when it got into The Last Jedi, they completely defecated on the character of Luke Skywalker, and I'm not a fan of that. So with The Mandalorian, as I mentioned, it takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and the reason why fans love it so much because it stays tried and true to what Star Wars really is. It picks up with the Mandalorian. We don't even know his name yet. He keeps his mask on, and basically, he's assigned a bounty to, either eliminate or bring back alive a certain target. Once he finds out the target is Baby Yoda, who we end up finding out who it is, or an infant or a child, he has a change of heart, and he decides to take care and nurture this child. It's not like any of the other bounties he had with the scumbags running around the universe. So once he actually rescued Baby Yoda, they start kind of going back and showing some of his history. I like that they didn't dive into him too much. They didn't really dive into it too much. But they showed that, the Mandalorian, his name is Din, and he was actually rescued as a child by other Mandalorians. And he ended up, becoming a Mandalorian and basically, becoming what they call a child of the Watch, which is more of like a purist group of Mandalorians that never, ever take their helmets off, ever. That's like a rule. Of course, they got to take them off to like eating stuff, but they can't really expose their faces to someone else. So once we figure out his backstory, we understand his dislike for droids in season 1. And it's funny because as the season progresses, he's basically on the run the entire first season, trying to stop the remnants of the Empire from, actually getting the child. We end up finding out that they're doing experiments on the child. They understand that Baby Yoda is very powerful in the Force. So they're trying to, we don't know exactly what they're doing, but somehow they're trying to harness that power. So season 1 was pretty good versus season 2. I think season 2 had a lot more filler episodes, but season 1 did keep me intrigued. It reminded me of a Western. I do like the characters that they brought in with the Mandalorian, and the people that work with him real good. I forgot Gina Carrera, sorry if I said her name incorrectly, her character, but she's really good. She plays off of the Mandalorian very well, and I like his temperament. He's definitely a no games type person. He's straightforward, not necessarily cutthroat, but he does what he says. And if he gives you his word to do something, he's going to do it. So the cameos in season one was good. You'll see a lot of familiar actors that you recognize. Some of them do have, the prosthetics and the paint and everything on there, so you might not recognize them. But season one was good. I feel like it didn't have as many filler episodes as season two. And for season one, it had mystery because you didn't know what was really going to happen next. Overall, the first season was good. I think it did pull us in. Kind of towards, not the middle, but right before the last few episodes, it did start slowing down for me. And when they introduced Moff Gideon, that's when it started picking up. We all know Moff Gideon. He's our favorite bad guy from Bad Boy. He played the dude, El Polo Loco. He's one of our favorite bad guys in movie and TV history. So bringing in him and the Darksaber, that's what really hit me. Because I'm not gonna lie, I love Star Wars. I love the X-Wings and the flying and the war and all that. But really, to keep it 100, I'm here for the Jedi and the Sith. That's all I really care about. That's what I love. I like the lightsabers battles. I like the Jedis versus the Sith. So season one wrapped up pretty well. They left us on a little cliffhanger, showing us the Darksaber and showing us, that Moff Gideon survived, when the Mandalorian took his ship out. So they kind of left us on a cliffhanger, and we know after he met up with the armorer, a female Mandalorian who's basically kind of like, a leader of the Child of the Watch faction, told, Din that he needs to return Baby Yoda to his own type, to the Jedi. So that's how they kind of left off season one. Now, going into season two. Season two picks up right after the last episode. We know that the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, they're on the run, and he's going to search out and look for Jedi. So, not to breeze over any episodes or go through season two super fast, he ends up getting Ahsoka's name. And Ahsoka is one of the Jedi that actually survived the Purge in Order 66. She's the former Padawan of Anakin Skywalker, and we know what happened to Anakin. He turned into Darth Vader. Those episodes of Clone Wars where they fought and, she barely, narrowly escaped were some of the best ones. Also, you get to see, even though he is Darth Vader, he still has that conflict within himself of kind of wanting to be a little good and basically trying to eliminate and erase his previous life because, he moved forward. So that was the dope part about that. Kind of seeing his eyes, and he knows he remembers his Padawan, one of his best friends, somebody he's mentored. I'm glad they brought Ahsoka into the Mandalorian season 2. Now, of course, Rosario Dawson is a great actress. I haven't really seen a role of hers I don't like. I think they picked the perfect person. She has the temperament, that peaceful kind of Shaolin type, priest type of personality. She's very calm. She's not necessarily a good Jedi or a bad Jedi. I mean, she does fight evil people, but she's more in the gray area. We know where we haven't seen it on screen, but she may use dark side and light side force powers. So the Ahsoka episode was off the chain. She was mauling people down with them 2 white lightsabers, giving people the business. You take $1.50. You take $1.50. She was just giving everybody the business. And it all progresses and comes down to the final episode. So, any real Star Wars nerd, when you watch the final episode, you know that they get on Moff Gideon's ship. They have to rescue Baby Yoda because the episode before that, he was taken by the dark troopers. When I seen an X-Wing flying in, I said, they bet not. I said, they bet not. And then, you see the little monitors. They're watching the little security monitors or whatever, and you see a Jedi coming in. He got his cloak on. You don't know who it is. I was like, it could be Ahsoka. I only had one lightsaber, so it was in black and white at first. I was like, okay, he's mauling these dark troopers down too easy. I don't know who this is. When they showed what color the lightsaber was, which was light green, green, and you seen the black glove on the right hand, that's when you knew that was Luke Skywalker. And I was like, oh, y'all bet not do it. So the hallway scene, he comes through and he's disposing of the dark troopers just easy. I'm talking about he's just slicing through them like butter, smooth ass force pushes. The last dude, he did like Vader and literally crushed his entire body. He turned him into mush. And then when they opened that final door and he took that goddamn hood off, and you seen it was not only just Luke Skywalker, this is Grand Master Luke Skywalker. Damn near brought a tear to my face. I was literally yelling when I watched it. And not to keep harking back to the sequels, because we know Last Jedi sucked. Rise of Skywalker was fan services, and Force Awakens, it was The Force Awakens. That's all we wanted to see. I'm not so hung up on Star Wars to where the original 3 movies is the best and then forget everything else. I'm not hung up on that. But getting to see Grandmaster Luke Skywalker as he's supposed to be, not no hermit bum drinking green alien breast milk on a planet that cut itself off from the Force, don't want nothing to do with it. That's not Luke Skywalker. His last scene in The Return of the Jedi and what they showed in The Mandalorian is a natural progression. Not saying that he didn't have any obstacles during that time, but that's Luke Skywalker. Not that guy. The other dude's Jake Skywalker, just like Mark Hamill said. So that one scene was better. That one scene was better than all 3 of the sequel movies, in my opinion. And all they had to do was interject a couple of scenes like that in the movie, and people might have been a little more open to The Last Jedi. But you do need more context. So you can't have the most optimistic character in all the movies turn into this dude because he lost a couple of students. Jedis die every day, B. You gonna be alright. Let's go back to Attack of the Clones, for example. Do y'all know when they had to rescue Padme, Obi-Wan, and Anakin from that planet with all the bugs, and Count Dooku and stuff was there, and Mace Windu and them came? Do you know how many Jedis they lost? They lost a lot of Jedis just during that one attack. Did you see Yoda or Mace Windu just quit? I'm done. I quit. I'm no longer going to be a Jedi. Going to an island. I'm just done. I'm not going to do it no more. No, because they're supposed to be peacekeepers, but in a war, essentially, you're going to be a soldier. And that's what happens to soldiers sometimes. They die. So, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, y'all get kudos, because that's all we were asking for. I don't have a problem with passing the mantle on to the next generation of Jedis. But do the legacy characters properly. Give them the respect they deserve. And then when you pass on the legacy, it's like it works better because you know where it went from point A to point B. And you also know that you kept the original legacy characters, you kept them the way they're supposed to be and kept their legacies intact, if that makes any sense. So, The Mandalorian is Star Wars right now. I hope they use this Veil of the Force thing and just get rid of the other sequel movies, saying it was some type of, dream or maybe another alternate reality. I hope so. And I'm not going to hark too much on this, but I love The Mandalorian. There are some filler episodes, but other than that, it's a good show. It keeps you going and has intriguing characters. And they don't venture off from Star Wars so goddamn far that like it wouldn't even, make sense. The Last Jedi didn't make sense. There was a lot of shit there that didn't make sense. The Rise of Skywalker, when she shot force lightning out her fingers, that didn't make sense. I was in the theater like, how, Sway? How? Whoever wrote the line, and I'm not gonna quote it perfectly, but Luke Skywalker, when he came in on The Mandalorian, he said, Baby Yoda, Grogu, you know what I'm saying? He's very powerful in the Force, but power without training is pointless. I know that's not the exact words, but that's basically what he said. He was talking about Rey. You can't just have somebody coming in doing all this stuff without training, because training is so important. How do you learn something? You practice and practice and practice and do hours until you get it down. So that's my Mandalorian review, season 1 and 2. I will be back with weekly videos. Next, I'm doing Wonder Woman 84. And holla back. 2021 is going to be better than 2020. And I'd love to keep doing these videos for y'all. Please tune in, like, and like and subscribe. And I'll holla at y'all later. Peace out.